Now to more major news from that southern border. Now, in recent weeks, the state of Texas, they finally, out of mere necessity, had to take total control of a public park. This is one in Eagle Pass that served as a very key entry point for waves of illegal immigrants. Joe Biden, unvetted illegal immigrants, now around the 10 million mark. For 3 long years, Joe Biden has refused to secure this location or almost any other location along our southern border. We're now, as I said, approaching 10 million illegal, unvetted Biden immigrants pouring into Texas, and then, of course, being distributed. Free transportation by Joe Biden, more than the entire population of Dallas, now going to city and states that, frankly, have no idea what to do with these people. And few, by the way, have undergone any certainly not proper security vetting, no health screening, all requiring your public assistance dollars. This is a crisis that impacts and affects every single corner of the country, but it's the most severe in border states. So Governor Greg Abbott, well, they're not going to enforce the law. He had to take matters into his own hands, as he should, and he declared a disaster, which it is. He deployed state police, the National Guard, to secure the Texas border. He booted the feds out of Shelby Park in Eagles Pass. They weren't doing their job. He ordered the installation of new barriers and razor wire to deter illegal crossings. So how did the Biden administration thank Texas for their effort to do their job for them and secure the border? They sued Texas. Now, this is the same Joe Biden. You know, Vladimir Putin can shoot down our drones, no consequences. Invade Ukraine, not a lot of consequences. President Xi, spy balloons, unfair trade practices, intellectual property theft, confronting our Air Force in international airways, our Navy in international waterways. The mullahs in Iran walk all over Joe. What does he do? Nothing. All of a sudden now, your president wants to act tough because he's dealing with the state of Texas, because the governor is doing Joe's job, that the governor is upholding the law, that Governor Abbott is trying to secure the border in his state and enforce the laws of our country to keep not only his citizens safe, but all of us. And Biden suing the state over a new law enabling local law enforcement to arrest illegal immigrants in this country. And he even sued Texas over the installation of razor wire at the border. And what was that insane 5-4 decision? The U.S. Supreme Court ruled that the federal government can take down the wire. However, if you look at that ruling, they didn't prohibit Texas from putting it up. So now Abbott has ordered the installation of even more razor wire. And the court, by the way, did not give an opinion on Abbott's decision to boot the federal government out of Shelby Park. So now we're going to have a law enforcement bizarre showdown, which is now underway between Abbott and Texas. They want to enforce the law, secure the border, versus Biden and the federal government, the ones that have encouraged lawlessness and asylum abuse, the very people that have been aiding and abetting those people breaking the law, allowing unvetted people from all over the world into our country. And Abbott, by the way, is not standing alone. We got to give a big shout out. A lot of Republican governors now from 25 states have signed a resolution supporting Texas. Virginia Governor Glenn Youngkin tweeting, quote, Virginia stands with Texas. Governor Abbott is doing the job Joe Biden and his border czar, that's a joke, refused to do. Governor Sarah Sanders, Arkansas, President Biden won't defend us. States will have to defend themselves. Ohio Governor Mike DeWine, quote, the Biden administration's policy has been a total failure. We need change now. I support Texas and I support Governor Abbott. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis also standing firmly behind Texas. Watch.
Biden is going after Texas, saying that they must remove fortifications from their border. They put wire, they put things to keep people out. Biden saying you got to take that down to let people come in illegally, which is just crazy. And I remarked that if the Constitution was originally understood to mean that a state could not protect itself against an invasion, that the federal government could force a state to allow an invasion, the Constitution would have never been ratified in the first place. So you have Texas here that's holding its ground. They have every right to fortify the border vis-a-vis an invasion, and that's Article 1, Section 10 of the Constitution. So they're in the right.
All right, let's be clear here. These aren't just kind words for a fellow governor. These 25 states, they're offering manpower, they're offering security, they're offering real support. Blue state governors whine and complain, beg for more federal money. You know, Republican governors, they want to take action and enforce the law. So is Republican Congressman, by the way, Mike Collins this week announcing legislation that would prohibit federal officials from removing barriers at the border. But according to MSDNC host Joy Reid, protecting the border is racist, even comparing support for border security to Jim Crow era segregation. You can't make this up. This is NBC News.
This massive resistance, it sounds like the old Southerners who said that we will resist integration by any means necessary, that Chip Roy language. How does that read inside of the Latino community?
Will somebody tell Joy that her favorite president, Joe Biden, once worked with the former Klansman to stop the integration of public schools? He didn't want them to be racial jungles. She may want to know that. Pretty delusional otherwise. Now, of course, all of the far-left vitriol. Next year, we could have a commander-in-chief that would actually restore security at our southern border. On Truth Social, former President Trump writing, we encourage all willing states to deploy their guards to Texas to prevent the entry of illegals and to remove them back across the border. Those that Biden has let in should not get comfortable because they will be going home. Now, in the meantime, Governor Abbott, he's not backing down. Every day, more law enforcement, more barriers, more razor wire. According to Abbott, this showdown will not end until our border is secure. All right, here's the big question of the night. What's Joey going to do? Is he going to precipitate a fight between federal law enforcement and Texas Guard? Is he going to send troops to confront the Texas Guard? Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.